trans activists are actively working to silence opposition by targeting your political party, the Georgia Green Party, because it stands up for women's sex-based rights. What are your experiences with this?
The Georgia Green Party is, for those of you who don't know, is part of a federation of states, of state parties in the U.S. And we have an official presence in Georgia, southern United States, since 1996. We held our first convention. Among our original 10 key values is feminism. This is considered one of the most important ones to a lot of us. The pillars of the Green Party are environmental wisdom, grassroots democracy, social justice, and peace. And the Green Party has attempted to offer a reasonable, compassionate, and just electoral option for representation for citizens in the U.S. That's a little bit about us on the national level. So back in 2018, the Georgia Green Party began to reflect upon issues surrounding the support of a national green policy platform about the endorsement of the Nordic model, which, as I'm sure many of you know, instead of the New Zealand model for prostitution, considering prostitution sex work. So there was a debate on this issue, and we were looking at that debate. We had looked at the Nordic model because it was in favor of that, because it was punitive to the consumers and purveyors of prostitution versus the mostly female folks who prostituted themselves. So in that conversation, we continued to examine human trafficking and female exploitation and the need to protect and defend females because of their biological sex. We were drawn to the Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights as a document. We felt that distinguished itself by defining a clear description of what it means to be female. It stated our unique qualities and laid out the negative effects of surrendering these basic rights. The information regarding risks to children and youth with medical procedures and the long-term effects of that, as well as becoming more educated about transitioners, caused us a great deal of alarm, as did the erasing of lesbians. As a healthcare provider, I understand duty of care. As a woman, a mother, a grandmother, I understand duty of conscience. And we continued our conversations. If we allowed the ideology of sex orientation and gender identities to replace what rights we have so difficultly fought for and recently celebrated, the Georgia Party felt that we would see the dilution of women's rights and a reverse discrimination as trans individuals invade spaces ordinarily reserved for females. So Georgia endorsed the Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights, and our Facebook page blew up. Normally, you think getting attention is a good thing, except the floodgates of vicious attacks, name-calling, doxing, and threats to discredit our party exploded. And this was being led by the Lavender Caucus, which is the LGBT leadership in our own party. Any green women who spoke out were silenced, and a national party media list on Facebook of thousands of subscribers was shut down. Another Facebook site operated by the National Party banned our allies, deleted their posts, only allowing remarks and comments from the Lavender Caucus, the caucus of the party that represented the LGBT voice. Well, Georgia called for dialogue, and we were met with a flimsy effort disguised as reconciliation. But in reality, it was a demand for an apology and re-education in exchange for not pushing for disaccreditation of our state party. The Green Party, known for consensus decision-making, minority representation, and gender-balanced leadership, was attacking its own without pursuing direct conversation, requesting clarity or confirmation. No engagement on the issues, just condemnation. Well, we, along with allies, formed a caucus referred to as Dialogue, Not Expulsion, And to this day, we continue to garner support. We have over 265 signatories that I'm aware of, and we push for dialogue, including but not limited to formation of panels with research experts to continue this much needed conversation that would serve us all. Greens are now currently formulating a code of conduct and assessing ethical standards of behavior, and we are looking at the future of initiating possibly a gender critical green caucus as well.